I'll wait for people to get here because this is all fucked up. Started it. You guys are genius because you get here quicker than me. I was just getting ready to put something up, and here you are. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I feel so embarrassed. Not really. I got to tell you, I'm not. This is all new to me. I don't understand why. I don't understand why, but I'll tell you why I don't jump on StreamYard. So I use StreamYard when there's a panel. When I just want to go live and talk to you guys, I use YouTube. StreamYard, I don't have a membership for, but I think I'm going to have to break down and buy one. Anyway, guys, I'm buying my trailer today. I have an appointment at 11 o'clock. I know I had an appointment yesterday. There's, you know, I told you guys my mom's boyfriend, right? Well, he fell and he's in the hospital, and, my mom has been there. So, yeah, I'm trying to be there for my mom, even though I live in New York. But, yeah, so anybody that believes in prayer, please, good thoughts, good wishes, please. I would assume you guys could hear me because somebody said, oh no. Hi, Maribel. Me too. He's 82. My mom's 87. But anyway. I don't know why you can't get me on TV. Sometimes I leave and I leave myself on TV for my dogs. Because Danny is on Prozac. And I'm hoping that will go away when we move, because it's the noise. I'm convinced it's these weird noises, like when the electric gets turned on, it makes like a ticking sound. And my friend, who I've known forever, said, you know what? That happens with her dog. It's a mechanical sound. So, guys, I really wanted to talk to you guys about, I'm not prepared to share my life story with you guys because it's personal and it involves other people. But sometimes I get comments that people think that, things were picture perfect in my life, even though I was in the witness protection program. And it's true. I mean, that affected me later, not while it was happening, with the exception of being separated from my mom. And then my mom, things happened in her life. And when I came back, we had a very, very hard relationship that took us years. That's why I was so close with my 9th grade math teacher. I used to spend weekends over there. And I used to live with two people that really weren't that much older than me. When you think about it now, they were 6, 7 years older than me. I was 14, and they owned a home in a place called Miramar, Florida. And they owned this laundromat outside of the high school, just on the, across the street from the high school. And when I ditched, that's where I would hang out, and I became friendly with them. That's where I met Sylvia, my friend Sylvia, that passed away. Remember I said she was an amazing seamstress. She was a seamstress there. And then when I went to go work at the dry cleaners, she was a seamstress there. But also I went to school with one of her kids, and then became friends with another one. Yeah, so I'm excited about this. And, it's going to save me about $17,000 moving into the trailer, because of what it will cost me to buy the trailer and pay my lot rent there. It's $17,000 cheaper than paying rent here in this place that I'm not very happy in, because the rent would go up anyway, but that doesn't matter. I don't want to be here. Excuse me. And I don't think my kids want to be here, and that's okay with me. So anyway, so I started thinking about, well, had a very strained relationship with my mom. And there are people that would say at the time that they knew me that they were surprised that my mom and I have a relationship today. I never once thought about anything but happiness for my mom. I think the truth is, if we're not treated great by our parents, we strive to do things. We put them up. I want to say we put them up higher on a pedestal per se, because we're trying to get that love. We're trying to get that acceptance. So that doesn't really go with the. I'm sorry, this is my sister-in-law. Yeah, I'm doing a live stream right now. I just thought I'd share that with you. Anyway, so so Gypsy's thing about, being, I'm being ABUSED'd and being tortured and being essayed or different than what Gypsy was claiming. She was claiming physical. There was nothing physical. You know what I'm saying? So, we already believe, right, that Gypsy, is just a spoiled brat. You see how she sent pictures to her dad to get attention, whether it be good attention or bad attention. Somewhere in Gypsy's life, and I'd love for somebody to really look into this, perhaps Becca Scoops. What's the sexual thing going on here? Because I think she tried to like win her dad over, maybe with her perverse ways, her sexual perverse ways. She already had her mom's love. That was in the bag. That was guaranteed with Gypsy. Am I saying it right? Is it right? Right? I mean, her mom bent over backwards, would do anything in the world for her. We know that. We know that. We've seen it. Show me something different. Show me something different. So, but with Rod, there was a distance there. He was raising another family. And here Gypsy sends these promiscuous, actual, explicit porn, basically, to her dad. Why did she go there? Why did she go there with her grandpa? Because I do believe that she touched him out of curiosity. Maybe she didn't know at that point, but something has drawn her that way. I believe that wholeheartedly. That she sent those to Rod. Where did that come from? She did, yes. I believe that absolutely that was in the FOIAs that came out. Just a Girl. I went back over Snow Gypsy Facebook post, and it seems like Gypsy was sexualizing Dee Dee. I believe all of that, guys. Please also look at the chat. I think she totally meant to send those pictures to her dad. And I'm thinking now, just on that specifically, that she was trying to win him back through I think something is so disconnected with her when it comes to sex. Like, I don't know, call me prude. I have always, don't get me wrong, I've had one night stands, but I have never sent photos. I'm sorry, call me prude. I've never sent photos. I've never been explicit. I've had phone sex, but I've never done anything with knives or anything like that, And I never had phone sex with Jen. Just on record there, that never happened. Because I can see where that's going to go, but that didn't happen. Apparently not. Apparently not. So, sorry about that. It's usually an abused child that is hyperfixated. Yeah, so I'm wondering where that came from. Just a Girl says that, I think that there's something So I'm never taking news, much less sent them. Yeah, I mean, like, especially to your dad, like, come on, you don't even want your dad to see you when you get out of the shower, or, you're embarrassed if he comes into the room, and you're even, man, I'd get embarrassed when there would be kissing on the scenes and my parents would be in the room. Come on. I mean, like, I think that's natural, right? You know what I'm saying? When you're a kid and you see your first, like, make out scene. I remember that. My dad took us out of the theater. It was Enter the Dragon, one of the Bruce Lee movies that I begged, can we please go see it? I was so into kung fu and taking karate and shit. Not a clue all the sex that went in those movies. I remember he took us out. I remember sitting there, like, not knowing what to do or say. I was so young. I mean, how old could I have been whenever that movie came out? Anyway, so I think that, just as I'm sitting here talking about what could be the reason that she would send her dad those pictures, I think might be to get attention from him the best way she knew how. And somehow she thought that that was bisex. So I don't know. I don't watch Candace Starr. I have nothing against her, nothing at all. But, and it's not that I don't believe her. Man, I don't want to get into this, but I'm a Christian and I have a hard time entertaining that and finding a way to. Nothing against her. My own personal thing, nothing against her. Somebody gave somebody a gifted membership, so kudos. Yeah, she feels absolutely no shame or embarrassment. Rod wasn't 17 when she sent photos to him, and how old was she when she sent those photos? Right? So, yeah, I think she was trying to, I don't know, maybe entice him. I don't know, in her weird mind. I mean, she's got a weird mind. I never once thought about taking out my parents in any way. She was 22 when she sent those pictures to her dad, Luna? Really? Tell me she didn't know what she was doing or didn't think she knew what she was doing. It's just, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what she's doing with Ken, but it can't be long before he figures out what's going on there. But anyway, here's what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about what we knew, what we knew and what is still kind of under, like, scrutiny and stuff. And, all right. So, whoa, hang on. I just dropped my beverage, which is just a regular, but it's all over the dog's bed. And no, it's not because I'm stupid or stoned. There's only so much room here. I can't leave this here because this is not going to be okay. So can you guys give me a second while I get this up? Because I just can't. I'm sorry, guys. Having a rough morning here. Milo, I need to move things. Can you shift? Come here. Come here, Bubble. I got, just stay there. Mommy's got, don't worry about it. I'll leave to get that ride. That's a cool ride. And then Jenny, take a sit down. Can one of you guys grab me a garbage bag, please? Help me. Danny, Milo, garbage bag. No help there? Okay. No problem. I got it. Do what you're doing. Okay. You stay right there, buddy. Oh, handsome. Sorry, guys. I will be right there. Milo says I will be right there as well. That's me, Milo. That's me, Bubba. Okay. Thank you, sir. What do you hear out there, Mizey? That's me, I'm pretty sure. Milo. Wow, there's a lot of hair under here, guys. I know, Bubby. I know. Hi, Danny. I know, I'm sorry, but this dog bed is going on hold for a minute. Oh. Milo, that's enough, Bob. Come on. It's okay. It was me. It's enough. It's enough. Here. You think I let anybody bother you? Never in a million years. Yeah, I'll buy you a new one. But I don't think we're going to have room for it anyway. There's several. Well, no. Hang on. This is a good looking boy, you know. Good looking boy. Hang on, guys. Milo. Milo. Live stream. Milo, please. Danny, you lost your bed. All my fault. All my fault. Look, there's 3 more over here. Watch, Milo. Milo, please. Are you talking amongst yourselves? At least I hope you are. Milo. That's enough. Stop it. Hang on, Milo. Let me wash my hands. Milo! Wow, sorry about that. I am so sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. Can you hear me? I knocked over this thing. Yeah, I did because half of it's gone. It's pretty good. It's San Pellegrino, and there's like no fake stuff in it. I guess you can't. Yeah, sorry. I'm used to this mic and this mic's here. So you see what I'm saying? It's good stuff. All right, guys. Can you hear me? Are we okay? Milo, enough. Hang on, because I think that there's a guy that's like sits outside the apartments and uses the charger and talks on the phone. So great place, everybody. What are you doing, Bubba? So just chill. Stop it. Now there's nobody there, so you stop it. Nope. I'll give you something, because that's all you really want. Hang on, guys. I got to give them something. Otherwise, they will never, ever, ever leave me alone. Ever leave me alone. Like, they will never, ever, ever. I don't know what we're going to do when we have to get a smaller refrigerator guy. But this isn't going to look too rough. Here, look. Danny and Milo. You'll never, ever, ever. That's for you, Bob. And this is for you, ma'am. And have a nice day. The restaurant is closed. Don't look at hers, sir. Danny, you got yours. Yeah, okay. That's yours. Let's see if we can start this again. I'm ready to go back to bed. It seems like everything I touch here is hard. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. I'm sorry. I have started moving some stuff around, so it's good because I need to get up under some of this stuff and vacuum. It's hard. No excuse. I'm a responsible mom here. How you doing, Shorty Pie? Anyway, guys, what we know is that we've never seen any abuse by that's physical that Gypsy claims, where her mom had beat her, where her mom had kept her in. We saw handcuffs, but those handcuffs were they were actual handcuffs. And I mean, she's never said her mom has done anything like that, or that her mom has ever brought anybody into the house like that. So what do we know as facts? That's something that's never been brought up. The fact that ABUSE has never been brought up until after the interrogation, until after she was actually charged, right? So yeah, but I don't want to talk about like the lawyer and stuff like that right now. We know that there's something up with that. I mean, because he's profiting now off of everything that comes therefore after even knowing. She's talking about Mike Stanfield, right? After knowing that his client lied to him, because she admitted that. So, why would you want to do that? Anyway, so why the question has always been not why she unalived her mom, because there's a lot there. There was money there. There was that she didn't want to take care of her mom. There was, maybe even that she wanted to stop the grift herself and wanted to get out. All of that would have worked for Gypsy had she have played this a different way, right? She could have even said, yes, I was in on a grift, and like she played it all wrong, which screams it's not even real, it's not valid. She was in on the grift because she was in on it, she knew about it, right? So and come on, that it's inappropriate to send inappropriate photos to your dad at such an early age. Like, so there's just so much that's gone on and gone wrong there. There was somebody saying, okay, Night Monkey, sexual rage was strong. Thanks. Thank you. Hey, J Bolts. J Bots. J Bots is it. But why? Yeah, me too, Trixie. Why the snapping point? But why so brutal? Why so brutal? The only thing that ever fits in for me is that it was supposed to look like a brutal attack. Nothing that a child could ever perpetrate on their parent. Nothing that could be believed that a child could come up with. Not like that. Matricide isn't even like, is it really that brutal? I don't know. I mean, I guess so, but I don't know. So the why it was so brutal has always been, but when you think about what I'm saying, as far as it being some sort of brutal attack, I mean, even a gun would have been too much noise. That I understand, except with a silencer. But this would have been the cheapest way, and we know how cheap Gypsy is. Why would she spend the money on a real gun, especially with a silencer? That makes sense, right? This is stuff that makes sense. This is conversation. Does anybody want to come up and talk? If it's theory, it's theory. If it's and you got to be respectful and stuff. But anyway, that was a crime of passion in your opinion. Okay, but for who, J-Bots? What was the passion? What was it for? Like, a crime of passion usually, right away we go to a love affair or something. Torturing for a few days. So there was something. This is stuff that I'm trying to figure out the fact through fiction, because we have heard that some of these wounds were from a couple days before some of the other wounds, and that perhaps Dee Dee had been suffering for a few days. I just don't know where that came from. I'd like to see, like, where it says that. And here's the saddest part, is that, in all honesty, I've read a lot of things, and then I've been sent a lot of things, and it's hard for me to decipher what I've been sent and what I've actually read, to be honest with you. I should speak louder in this mic. Can you guys hear me okay? I think she definitely helped him out too. Why would he be so angry? I mean, why would he be so angry? And if he went crazy on Dee Dee, he would have more precisely said that, instead of saying, well, I jabbed her 4 times, and but the other wounds were just real, like, you know what I'm saying? It's all in how you look at it. I see it as a blessing that I get. Then again, they get me. Okay. Ever since I heard she was on Capra, hang on. Of course, everything's on everything here. Let me see something. Ever since I heard she was on Kepra, I've thought that may have been one of their breaking points because of the aggression that comes along with the medicine. Who was on Kepra? Dee Dee or Gypsy? Or are we not talking about that case? I don't think Rod had any interest in Gypsy in any way. The country life of Chicken Lady. Wait a minute. I think she may have been in the room because the Gypsy, as a parent, if you pay attention to my channels. I don't know. That's questionable, because you don't know how you behave or act, in all honesty. It might be in desperation that you're screaming for help, or it could be, are you screaming because you're wondering if your kid's okay? So there's a lot of speculation on that. That always intrigued me. So who was on it? You never told me into the weeds. Who was on the medication? Wait a minute. Gypsy was on it. Okay. And she just went nuts. I mean, that, I don't know. So they're asking what Keppra is. I guess you could look it up. I don't know. Keppra is an anti-seizure medication. Yeah, so she at one time, remember, had claimed that she had the seizures, but didn't tell her mom. But she didn't have seizures. The one time for the surgery, when she woke up in that surgery, I believe. So I don't understand why she would be on it. So how many people still believe that Dee Dee had Munchausen by proxy? I believe meds can have side effects like that. I do believe that. Why wasn't that the defense then? Where's all the grooming from Nick come in? Like, what about all that? I've thought about that too. Hang on. the fact Gypsy, I don't think she's ever going to get it. Yeah. Bingo. Bingo. Exactly. I mean, it was planned for a really, really long time. Of course, no Munchausen by proxy. Yeah, I mean, she hasn't been honest with anyone about it. Of course not. She hasn't been. Maybe she faking seizures, is that a possibility? Anything's a possibility when it comes to Gypsy. I just don't know how much she was really faking with her mom at a certain age. I think she was manipulating her mom. You dastardly demon, you. I gotta finish this. I gotta beat this can of now half empty soda. Anyway, could move my chair around. You see all the size of that bed, right? That was a huge bed. Now I can move my chair around. I think I'm going to lose this chair when I move, though. It's too big. It was Dee Dee's room on the nightstand. It was in Dee Dee's room on the nightstand. So I think Dee Dee was, in my opinion, this is, well, I shouldn't even, because we're talking about facts. We're talking about facts. But to me, it would make sense that that Dee Dee was actually abused because of Gypsy alone and all the interrogation that went on when it came to Nick's by the woman interrogator, the woman detective. Excuse me. So what else, guys? What else? So there was some discrepancy on, because I've heard it on both sides, on into the date of the unaliving. So some people have said the 9th, and some people have said the 10th, and some people have said, well, late into, because when I work overnight, like as soon as I get in there, I say good morning to people. It's not morning, it's 11 o'clock at night, but I mean, I say good morning to people. People say good morning to me, you know what I mean? And so I mean, I think that it depends on where you're at in the day. So I mean, if something happened at, like, let's say 9 o'clock at night, and they find the body 3 days later, yes, how do they know that it didn't happen 5 hours later? How are they 100% sure? In the move, Jean did a wrong tire too, but so she claims wouldn't leave. Maybe that's how it began. You think she tied her mom to the bed? I didn't hear that. Thank you for the prayers. Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Sunshine. I've always called her that she's a Frankenstein gypsy. Gypsy whore is a Frankenstein. Jay Bolton never helped with my pain or side effects either. So see, how do we know she was tortured for days? Where is that fact? Is that fact? This is what I want to like. I want to know, like, is it fact? What do we, with everything that's messed us up? The wrong narrative when we thought we had it right. The wrong narrative when it was used for clickbait and shit like that. What's real here? This is the wrong narrative when there's people trying to protect Gypsy, and trying to change the story. Gypsy's own wrong narrative that doesn't fit with what's going on. And also, we got to remember Gypsy's own wrong narrative is because she doesn't remember what she said from one answer to the next. Yes, you see what I'm saying? So, in facts, what is it that we know back? But what we know of Gypsy now, it can be heavily assumed. That is correct. That behavior definitely is correct. There's a pattern of behavior there, especially when we see Gypsy take on different personas. She does. Listen, she does. When she's talking on a talk show and she uses her hands and she's very explicit, right? Right? And then you see her when she's, candid or angry, or you catch her and she's like short and curly, but I won't always be, or the look on her face when it's frustration when she's supposedly holding her colicky baby who needs her more than she needs her. I mean, it's all ass backwards with her, right? So, and then she pulls out the little girl voice when she tries to get something, because that's the voice that I think she thinks is more sexual and more manipulated. I think she thinks she gets the best results with that voice. And, you know, from a distance, we see her because we're not in it, and we can see how bad of an actress she is. You know what I'm saying? I'm missing something here. So what did she say? When she leans in and talks soft, it's a movement she does. I can't pinpoint. There's stuff that I'm missing here. The Chip might seriously have done. It's crazy as hell. Might have DID. Yeah, but I mean, there would have to have been somebody there that would be so. I was saying that would be so dangerous, which it obviously is. But seriously, like somebody would have to have noticed it. Who would be pregnant? I mean, this is such evident behavior, and so it's so obvious to us. Danny's sleeping with a toy that she has stuck between her paws. It's so cute. Um, with a smile on her face. She's so cute. She's gonna hate moving. But once we get there and get settled, I think she's gonna love it. Because I'll be able to take her out, walk the reservoir. Yeah. So Abbott said through medium cancer in a video made a few days ago. Yeah, I haven't seen that. When she talked to Kim K, watch when she leans into Kim. Yeah, I mean, like you could clearly see that Gypsy, in my opinion, is evil. You know, most people, here's a fact. Most people, when they lose somebody who was their biggest cheerleader, and that's what Dee Dee was to her, right? I mean, we've seen that. We've seen it. So I mean, it's nothing that's made up. We've seen it. And if the abuse thing was true, it wouldn't have been for a long period of time, because guess what? Gypsy could walk. Gypsy left the house. Gypsy, Dee Dee was no match for her. So, you know, this is just stuff that you clearly see. People that, even Munchausen by proxy doesn't work the way that it supposedly happened with Gypsy, because you're making the child sick. Dee Dee never made Gypsy sick. Dee Dee, when you look at it and you know that Gypsy had the chromosome disorder and you go over, or the chromosome deficiency, and you go over the medical records, you can see that there was a mom that was really trying to figure out at one point what was wrong with her daughter and how to help her daughter. Okay. And then there was also, as you guys know, there was all the evidence of stuff that was inside the house that was for Gypsy. So it wasn't even so much that Dee Dee benefited. Yes, she benefited from a car, she benefited from a house, but she also was tied down to her daughter 100% under the eye of a lot of people, and she was well liked. Okay. She wasn't somebody that was putting poison inside of the kid's feeding tube or somebody that was actively making anybody sick. That came about and was added on to show almost like a history of Munchausen by proxy with the rat poison and all that. No, 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 no. That's something that was created, I feel, for a narrative that was made. I'm talking about when it says when you're sick, Milk Honey and Mayhem says, when you're sick, companies offer up stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that. And I believe she took advantage of that. That doesn't make Munchausen by proxy. Munchausen by proxy is somebody actively making somebody sick. That's not what happened here. She was addressing issues that Gypsy legitimately had. Did she embellish things? Yes. Was it a grift and she took things that maybe she shouldn't have taken? Absolutely so. I don't think for a second that Dee Dee made Gypsy sick in any way, shape, or form. I think she spoiled the girl so much so. Read what book to you? I did read her book. Patchouli Julie, I read her book already, if that's what you're talking about. So you could look at it. It's on several of my lives. I did it over a course of a week or something, right, guys? I gotta take an allergy medicine because I'm itchy. So let's see. I'm trying to read some comments here. Maybe when Dee Dee lied about her age, it was to her. You know what? I think Dee Dee lied about her age, honestly, to continue on and reap the benefits that she was getting. That still isn't Munchausen by proxy. It's fraud. You know what I'm saying? That's what that is. So I have I read the book though. I've read the book in my lives. It would be in my live streams. She was absolutely spoiled. When you see the pictures of everything she had, she was absolutely spoiled. I'll tell you what I would like to know though. I would like to know the significance of the Barbie doll. I don't want speculation per se unless you're telling me it's speculation. There's too much. And I think something actually did happen to Dee Dee because, again, the interrogation that went on with Nick, she kept asking and asking. So I'm sorry, but I do think that something happened. Actually, this is speculation, and I do think that there is some weird something with the Barney that I have missed or I don't know. I don't know. Hey there, Toddie. How you doing? Thank you so much. What curtains are you talking about? Mine? I make you. What curtains are you talking? The ones behind me? Laura Stubbs? Let me see. The Barney. There was a Barney doll, not Barbie. Barney, the purple dinosaur. Barney, the purple dinosaur. Barney could have been used for comfort, maybe. There's something that was brought up, Trixie, about if you go back into the interrogation, she asked her, did you see a purple dinosaur? And do you remember Nick's reaction right away was that he saw it. And then he thought something about it. Go back and look at that. Go back and look at that. And And Nick was so precise about things. That's a questionable with the autopsy. I mean, with the interrogation. I thought we did the interrogation together. Maybe we did Gypsy's and not Nick's. I thought we did Nick's interrogation. I don't remember, guys. I'm sorry, but yeah, but there was something that came up, Shorty Pie. There was something that came up where the detective asked, I love you, you love me, we're a part of a family. I thought I did both too, but there is something about where she asks about the Barney, excuse me, doll. And she says, did you see it? And Nick right away says that he did. And then he retracts it. It's weird. Please check it out. I'm not making it up. This is what we're talking. This is what we're talking about. And also, guys, just so you know, the symbolism. Now that I believe something to do with symbolism, I believe that because I think Gypsy is more deliberate than we ever thought. However, she's a moron. Symbolism obviously means a great deal to her. Look at her body with the tattoos. It means a great deal to me too. However, my mom is still around, man. Yeah, but there's something more significant than just having it. So yeah. So it's going to be weird. I wonder what my background's going to look like when I move. You know, where I'm going to do my little show from. I have to get rid of stuff. I have to get rid of stuff. I have a John Lennon that I'm going to send to my nephew. I mean, a John Lennon lithograph that I got when I was like 16, 17. I used to go from the dry cleaners. I used to go to the art store. There was an art store next door, and he had like the first 4 of the Bag One series. And I grabbed myself Baby Grand. So I hope to move between May and June. I hope to take the month and move little by little because I'm not trying to rent a storage unit if I don't have to. I'm really wanting to downsize, you know, but there's some things that are going to be tough. There's going to be some things that are going to be tough to get away with. Like a lot of the furniture I have, Jennifer and I did together. So, you know, but they're things. When I move away from the country, I'm not taking it with me anyway. So. On a piece of land, I'm putting it on a piece of land, Bean. A piece of land by a reservoir. Speaking one of a sparking everyone who wants to join them, Cornelius and Toddie. Thanks. With a J. Everybody smoke, don't smoke. I'm off. I'm not off today. Today's Tuesday. I work tonight. Anyway, Chip Stain. I haven't heard that one yet. That's funny. Puff, puff, pass. Yeah, but seriously, guys, back to what we're talking about here with Gypsy. Yeah, nobody complains about me. I'm a good neighbor. People like me. Good fishing by a reservoir. That's right. I have one of the inflatable kayaks, but I think because I would live close to the reservoir, I might buy one and just pay the reservoir fee for keeping it there because even the inflatable kayak weighs a ton anymore. But I like being out there, you know, so we'll see. We'll see. It's more important that I'm not moving out of New York yet. Manipujip. Manipujip. I like that. Manipujip. Good morning, Wendy. So seriously, guys, continuing on about Gypsy and what we know and what we don't know as far as Gyp shittery. As far as with Gypsy. Good morning, Jan. I don't know how many more of the Foyers are left. I don't know how many of the Foyas have left. Who said that they moved from upstate New York to the UK? Can that person email me? I'm so behind in my emails, but I really want to know. I moved from upstate New York to the UK. Joe777. Can you email me at toddie1skip@gmail.com? I'd like to know more about that. Let's see. I'm reading the comments, guys. I'm sorry. Why are the FOIAs coming out now? I think they get released over a certain period of time. I don't know why thank you. I don't know why a specific time. You might want to ask Into the Weeds podcast if they're still here, because she was the one that got the FOIAs that I was sending out. So, but I think that things come out just like the phone calls, like phone calls from prison. They come out after a certain amount of time, probably. Jenny, thank you so much. That's very kind of you. Very, very kind. You go to towards my kayak. I'm sure it'll go towards a lot of stuff. Thank you so much. Is it possible for an American? I don't know what you're asking. So I must have came in on that. Hypocrite. I like that one too. Hypocrite. That's good. You know, it's funny when I first started working on the gypsy stuff. I used to put hashtag gypsy, and some gypsies came into play and they got kind of upset about that. And I was like, yo, man, I got gypsy blood running through my veins. I'm a Hungarian. Like, I got that shit running through my veins. Be proud of who you are. I don't think gypsy makes gypsies look bad. And I know gypsy isn't the perfect term, but they're the ones that took it. I meant it as gypsy, gyps ahoy, gyps ahoy. I like my gyps ahoy. Last night, what happened? Last night episode, I haven't seen it yet, was all about apologizing to Ryan. She was more guilty about that than she was about unaliving her mom. Listen, you know why she's guilty? You're Hungarian too, Rat Queen. You know why she's guilty? Because that played out in front of that public, in front of those viewers. You know what I'm saying? If she was still friends, per se, with the people that Dee Dee meant something to, yeah, she'd be talking something different there. She is a chameleon that changes who she is on the outside to the color of the room. Like a chameleon. You ever see that? That's why it's the facts. What gets me is, I got on Wikipedia. I like Wikipedia, for quick stuff, and then you do some deep dives. But this will usually tell you the dates and like the information, like as simple as the dates and stuff, and you can get it all in one thing, and it's easy to navigate. So that's why I like this. However, it does continue on with the Munchausen by proxy, but it also goes into like the other theories that are now coming out. So that's interesting. I think, and I've said this before, little by little, things are coming out. But what gets me is there are people, there were over 60 people that attended a vigil for Dee Dee in downtown Springfield the night after the body was discovered. You mean to tell me, seriously, you mean to tell me that was because she was a horrible person? People liked her, people liked her more than they liked her daughter. Her daughter was, anything bad that was ever heard wasn't really heard about from Dee Dee. It was more from her daughter. Jib jab. I love it. I love it. That was worth it. We pinned it. In case you can't see, we pinned it up. So thanks for that, Alexandra. See, Art, I'm thinking about moving to the, oh gosh, I'm thinking about moving out of the country, but who knows? Who knows when that can be, because I have insurance where I'm at. I figure I'm going to retire in 3 years. Zoe's willing to be friends. She's not asking for knives or anything. So seriously, guys, is there anything that you wanted, the case that I want to work on next? You know, if you guys want to talk about that real quick. She was loved by that community, and Gypsy clearly got everything she wanted. When you look at those pictures, those, and somebody also sent me some stuff as far as photos go. But when you look at those photos, you clearly see somebody who had everything. They had everything. Like I said, they had a wheelchair for every room because they couldn't use the wheelchair to go down the corridors, the hallways of the house, of the small house, because there was so much hoarding that the hallways were made even more narrow. So here they took this house, they made it wheelchair worthy, only to fucking make the hallways smaller because of the hoarding. Think about that. And so therefore Gypsy had a wheelchair in every room, so she could walk into the room and then she'd get in the wheelchair and spin it around. I mean, come on, I'm so serious. That's a fact. You could look at the pictures. That's a fact. That's a fact. And it is a fact that they did that house and made it wheelchair compatible or wheelchair accessible only to do that. I love Scotland, my favorite country. Anyway, Easter photo. Pull up the Easter photo. You tell me that ain't a doll. Try comparing the way it doesn't hang on people. I can't pull up the Easter photo because I'm not set up for that. I'm sorry. I haven't looked at that. I actually slept yesterday after getting a bunch of phone calls. I slept last night. That's why I couldn't get a video together. I figured I'd come on live. We talk about things because the truth of the matter is I started thinking about what would it take for somebody to unalive their mom. Why was it so just you know? Somebody speaking about how much they love Dee Dee. Well, Dee Dee used to have like these community parties for her daughter who couldn't get out. Now we all know that could have happened, and that might have been something protective for. It's definitely not Munchausen by proxy. I'm saying that's not even Munchausen by proxy. Yeah, I wouldn't mind going there. I just have 2 dogs. I can't leave the country right now, guys. I got 2 dogs, and none of them are going in cargo. Really. None of them are going in cargo. Is it true CPS is investing? I saw that video too. I think, that would make sense. I don't know. We'll see. I think CPS has been involved for a minute. You have a shed that I can make my home. One of the reasons why I got a trailer is because all that stuff's inside of it. The only thing I really have to do is insulate the under part of it, and I have somebody doing that, and skirt it, and I have somebody doing that, and that'll be before winter. Anyway, good morning from Texas. The Easter pic I saw has her baby's face all covered. Never saw. I know that I saw. I saw 2 pictures of that. I did. 2 dogs will cost $10K not to go in cargo. Well, I have a Cash App, guys. Milo, I figure I'll retire, when I'm 65. And then I'll have, I'll have insurance, and I'll have my Social Security, and I'll go ahead and go then. Let's see. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about we hear from them now. I don't know who you're talking about. Hear from who, Angel Baby? Are you talking about the sisters? I I don't know. I don't know who you're talking about. The so-called baby is. I don't know what I'm missing there. I've got to go to London for a few months. Good for you, man. I used to go there. One thing to remember, the house wasn't built for Gypsy and Dee Dee. It was renovated to help make it easier for them. Yeah, but still, it still was, it definitely was wheelchair accessible. If you were born after 1960, you can't get Social Security into it. That's not true. That's not true. I could get Social Security now. I just won't get all of it. So there were 3 windows for me, and one of them was in 67. But anyway, this isn't about that. This isn't about that. Let's see, where are we going here? I know the people that loved her. Yeah, absolutely, people loved her. You get Social Security and you were born in 75. I believe it. Let's see. Yeah, the house was. So everybody, yeah, hit the thumbs up. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. Venus Sunday. 223 are here. Wow, that's a lot of people. Guys, we should really talk about something that matters. So whoever said when a baby cries they use leg muscles. I agree with that too. I haven't seen the photo, so I can't really comment on it. I don't know if I could even try to get it to me. I will, and maybe I could do a video on it. What do you guys think about the other cases that I want to follow? So I want to investigate the Idaho 4 case because I really don't think that one person did that. And Jamie on here thinks that he did that. Hey, Precious Creek, how you doing? I'm glad you were with your family over Easter and had a good Easter. I love to hear that. I love to hear that. Guys, one of the smoke shops gave me this shirt. The same one that gave me that bag, Jamie. I liked hearing about Idaho 4 with you and Jimmy. Yeah, and there's more stuff coming out. I'm watching Pavarotti, and I got a lot of you guys have had me go. And I also want to do a video on the Richard Allen confession, on the confession. And also, you know what I had noticed? I was watching another video that had the confession, and the wife's voice and her expression was changed. And one of those had to be by AI because it was the same conversation. That's what I'm talking about. When it comes to things like facts, when we hear things like that, it's bullshit. It is such bullshit. There's so much stuff that can screw up people just trying to figure out what's going on. Because I remember thinking, man, I'm not a voice expert, but this is the way this strikes me, so much so that I would bet money on it. And then I heard the same thing from another video, and I was like, wait a minute. So there's so much in these cases. The Brian Koberger case, they want to do things. You need to check into this too. Seriously, Jamie, because they want to you need to see what they're going to allow in that trial and what they're not going to allow in that trial. You know what I'm saying? Because like they want to take off the reference of what kind of DNA and just leave the words DNA in there. That's not true. There's a lot of misleading stuff, and there's more stuff coming out about these damn phone calls and conversations between the surviving roommates and what happened during that, right? And the Delphi case is just, yeah, the owner of the land, there's a video. The owner of the land, the one that didn't want to be shown on the CW, I believe it is, video of the man down the hill. They do have video of him. And, I don't know if it's manipulated. So I know that they have video of him. I know that they know who he is. And I know that he fits the description better than Richard Allen fits the description. Now, they guessed Richard Allen's height at least a couple inches taller than he is. Now, I don't want to hear that people said, no, 6 foot, because even I went to the original wanted photo of the image and of the height. And it's either 5'6" and up, or it's 5'8" and up. It's a little, it was a little blurry. Now, Richard Allen is 5'4". So somebody right here is saying this. It is, right? It is. Yeah. Jelly. So the Delphi case is the 2 girls on the hill. And the Koberger case is the Idaho 4, the college 4. And my thing with the college 4, the biggest thing for me, and I've had people say, hey, Ted Bundy, he went in there and ... Yes, he did, but it wasn't his first crime. What I'm saying is Ted Bundy, by the time he had the attacks on several people at one time in one place, he had already progressed to that. He was found out, he escaped, and that's when those other attacks took place. This is the first time Brian Koberger has been stopped for anything than a traffic violation. And the lawyers, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, there's so much. I really want to deep dive into that case. The algorithm isn't giving me the views, but I want to deep dive into it. I do. There's things that I just feel passionate about that I want to deep dive into it. Uncorked with Brandy. How you doing, Brandy? Oh, please, let's do that. You see, I'm behind in my emails. My mom's boyfriend fell yesterday. I had told them. So that's why I'm behind on some stuff too. And also, I bought a trailer. I want to get ahead of everybody who's going to call me trailer park trash. It's my home. I have the freedom to take it anywhere I want that's connected to the United States of America. If I want to take it to Alaska, live in Alaska. It's mine. I mean, it's 30 feet, so I have to now save for the vehicle to pull it because I really do want to keep it where it's at for 3 years. But I'm really excited about it. It does give me the freedom to, I had a tiny house, and I told you somebody took the land from me after they were like, no, go ahead, spend your money on the house, and then you could buy the land and pay it off. Yeah. Until they found maple trees. I was like, take the maple trees. Don't take the property, take the maple trees. Yeah, no. So anyway, so Karen Reed, I have to say, guys, I'm thinking, I don't know that Karen listened for a lot. I think Karen Reed accidentally hit him. I think she accidentally hit him. I don't think it was intentional, because for her not to have hit him, do you know how many people would have to be in on that? What happened, Brandy? What did you lose that I missed here? Wait a minute. I don't have a problem with that. Something happened. Did you lose something here? Something happened. Brandy, what am I missing here? Something happened. I can't find it. More to tell you, but I don't know what I'm missing here that happened. Yeah, I've lived in a trailer, a proper trailer before. This is more of an RV, but it's a long RV. It's more of the destination ones, but it's really not the destination one. Anyway, but it's bigger than some of the destination ones and smaller than some of it. It's 30 feet. It's got 2 bedrooms. I'll give you a view of it. What's going on, Brandy? What am I missing here that happened? Anyway, Brandy lost her sister-in-law yesterday. So I didn't know that. I am so sorry. I'm really sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. Okay, I get it. I see it now. I see it now. Yeah. Sorry about that. How many of you guys think Karen Reed did that? And how many of you think she's trying to cover it up? Here's a woman that went from, let's be honest, okay? Here's a woman that went from, maybe I did it by accident, to did I even say that maybe I did it? Did I even say, did I do it? Or did somebody, you know what I mean? Like, you're that messed up. You probably did say. I mean, excuse me, you backed into the only car that was in the driveway. I mean, we saw that. Which okay, so let's talk about this. This is because of social media, my friend. This is because everybody has an opinion and now everybody has a platform to speak on it. So this has a double-edged sword, right? This is definitely a double-edged sword. And you have people that say, I don't think she did it. This is conversation. Then you have somebody right above, probably wasn't at the scene, but 100% guilty. I think she's guilty too. I believe she's guilty, yes. And there we go, all over the place with that. Everybody has an opinion, and as we know, Karen Reed has Turtle Boy. He's got a pretty big platform. Is he still speaking on it? So you think that she was? Listen, there's three things basically here. Either she didn't do it, either she did it and it was an accident, right? Or there's four things. Or she did it and it was intentional, which I don't believe that. Or those guys did it. For those guys in that house to do it, everybody, it's over 12 people, would have had to have agreed that this is what we're going to do. And nobody would be able to change their mind on that. That is so hard to believe that that 12 people could agree to keep a secret like that. Yeah, he is a conspiracist. Exactly. But that's who's yelling. That's who caused a lot. This is why we got to be careful with what we say as speculation and as proof. I've been watching Crime Circus right, Crime Circus. And and I've been watching Harsh Reality and even Pavarotti and stuff. And these people aren't telling you this is the way it is, this is the way to think. They ask you a question and give you their opinion on it because of evidence that they have on it. That's a big difference than making up shit and talking about it. Or there's no other way. I mean, listen, it's clear that when you go to court, there's two totally different experienced witnesses with a heap of experience on both sides of one thing, and they're going to tell your side of what happened and then their side of what happened. You see what I'm saying? Wherever you go to look for something, you're going to find it. The best way to go looking for something is to go in there with an open mind. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. Let's see what we can find. And then go to expose to different sides. Go to the opposite sides. You know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to find the word. Opposing sides. Then go to the two opposing sides and try to figure out. Then that's when you use your own head, right? And that's when you use your own head to figure out, gee, what happened here? What makes sense to me? Could we be wrong? Absolutely, 100%. But it's speculation. I totally 100% believe that there was supposed to look like a botched home invasion at Dee Dee's house. I believe that, but I can't say that's what. There was a home invasion at Dee Dee's house that was botched. No. I think there was. That's different than saying there definitely was a home invasion. I saw on the reports or whatever. There's a big difference there. So 3/4 of the people were related to the cops. I know that. I do know that, but they still have to keep their mouth quiet. And not everybody's going to keep stumping. You see that. And that, for all those people to keep quiet, nobody's sleeping that. Nobody's going to ever sleep again. Because if you've done something so horrific and well, this might depend on the marriage of this person or the friendship with this person or that with this person or that with this person, you're never going to sleep again. People are going to start dying left and right. I just don't believe that everybody could be on the same page. That to me just doesn't make sense. So the Karen Reed thing right now, I believe that I think she accidentally hit him. And I don't think it was intentional. I think she accidentally hit him. That's what I think. I don't know what those on his arm are. I don't know. It's not a road rash, but I don't think that he was drug anywhere. He wasn't dragged. He wasn't, so I don't know what it was, if there was something. I don't know. Dog bites, yeah, it kind of looked like it, but why couldn't it be both? Why couldn't it be both? Why couldn't it be that he was outside and she ran him over? Exactly. And she ran him over by accident. And then, an animal came. Why could that not be possible? I don't know. And cops are still just people. That's right. We know that. We see that they fail on things too. They still have to trust each other. That is crazy. Crazy. So, I don't know. I just pulled breakfast out of the fridge. Flat beer and cold pizza. You gotta love it. No more antibiotics. Congratulations, Patchouli Julie. Or maybe they got scared away. Maybe it got scared away, the animal. Maybe he tried to fight with it. It's only one arm, so I don't know. I don't know that she realized she ran over him. She was drunk. I mean, she was drunk. They were all drunk, and that's what's too bad, because a lot of them were cops. There you go. They're just people. They're just people driving around messed up like that. So you see, they're just people. I think absolutely she could have thought that she hit something. She hit the car behind her and didn't even get out to see anything like that. There's a video of her tapping the car. That's why They're saying that she might have lost the stuff from the car there, and it was put over at the scene, at the crime scene. I think which case? I don't know. Could have been thrown out in a fight, hit by a plow. Again, 12 people at least would have to, be on the same page here. And that's just, of course, it's not smart driving drunk, but they all drove drunk. There's video of them going from one place to the other place drinking. She had like 7 drinks because she would get a drink and then throw a shot in it, which would be counted as 2 drinks in a short period of time, and I didn't see any food being consumed. That's cool. That's cool. Listen, guys, this is what it is. It's a conversation. This is a conversation. Well, unfortunately, this is the web. There's drama, right? They banned my account, and I was like, why? I didn't need to about the demon. Oh, I thought you said Demona. They banned your account because of Demona. My DUI was, they have the whole thing about this, about her drinking and stuff. So, I don't know. Police used to take drugs and bring to the party. I agree. 1000%. I do. I agree. I'm not saying that there isn't corruption in the police force. 100%. I agree with that. What I'm saying to you is there's 12 people that have to keep a secret. 12 people that have to depend on everybody to keep that secret. 12 people, 12 relationships, right? Because there's people that are married, there's people that are friends and all that stuff that have to do that. So I'm just saying that's a hard find. That's a hard find. Because not all 12 people would have murdered that guy. So there would be people that would have things over the head of the other people. Right away, the Delphi case, I know that in the Delphi case, there's a question. I need to look into it because all I did was I recorded it. In the Delphi case, there was somebody that was asking questions who was a cop or an investigator or somebody in authority who had an impeccable career, who was asking questions about Richard Allen and just that he didn't fit. There was something. That man's unalive today. So much so that Vinnie Politan, Vinnie from, was it Court, whatever, where Vinnie said, what? And he listened to it again. He asked very specific questions. And exactly this. And so there's one person in a case that had to do with one person so far that we know about. You see what I'm saying? There isn't any of that peripheral or collateral things going on in the case with the 12 cops. I just listen, again, I could be wrong. I'm just checking into that case, to be honest with you, right? The Karen Reed case. And the Delphi case. Because I do have to tell you that when I first I questioned Richard Allen, and then when I heard his confession, and the words used to confess, I was taken aback. And then when I heard his wife's response, I was taken aback even more. I don't know. But the Brian Koberger, again, my friend over there, I'm looking at your profile, Milk, Honey, and Mayhem. Guys, check out her channel. She puts out videos every Sunday that are so interesting. I think she was eating a swamp burger or something yesterday. Is that correct? Anyway, Milk, Honey, and Mayhem, Jamie. And she and I are on opposing sides of the Brian Koberger, the Idaho 4 case. I don't think Richard Allen is mentally sound now, but I think he was mentally sound before. Thanks, Trixie Lane. That's me. That's my DID. A slaw burger. Y'all come and check me out. I'm sorry. I thought you said swamp burger. A slaw burger. My favorite burger used to be called an Okie burger from Lake Okeechobee in Florida at a place called Uncle Larry's. It's not there anymore. It's not there anymore. But they made an Okie burger, and it was a big ass burger, right? And it was thin, but it was on pita bread. So it was pita bread for the bun, and there was like the Thousand Island dressing. Oh my God, it's so good. I used to make them at home because I learned how. You had a fish, Sammy? Cool for you. You know what I had yesterday? I spoiled myself. Oh, I should show you. Look. Hang on. Hang on. I thought of you guys. I did. Let's see if I can do it. It's going to switch it up. Hang on. Done. All right. Does anybody see? So that'd be some lobster tail, corn on the cob, Lagostino, lobster, and Jonah's snow crab claws or stone crab claws in the pot. Yeah, that was yesterday. And I had that as a treat. And seriously, then I went straight to bed. And I made the dogs their chicken. Yeah, we got things good here, Brandy. We got some good things. That's a real treat for me, to be honest with you. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to cook that stuff inside the trailer because you need a lot of stuff. We're going to have to see. I'm looking around, man. I'm definitely downsizing here. A lot of stuff I have to let go of. That's going to be hard. I'm thinking about getting one of those frames that shows like the picture, and then it will show another picture, and then show another picture, because I don't think I'm going to have the wall space for all of my stuff. We're going to have to see how that's going to work. We're going to have to see. Maybe I'm going to have to take pictures and put them in smaller pictures and then just put them in like a collective frame or something. We'll have to see. I have an oven. I have a couple ovens. I actually have one on the outside of the trailer and inside. And, I have my little oven, but my friend was like, the oven in the trailer that you're buying, it's an air fryer as well. I'm like, really? I didn't know that. So maybe it's an all-in-one. And then I just bought this one. So now I don't know. That's why I was supposed to have it, Brandy. I was supposed to have it on Easter. But Easter didn't work out well for me in that regard at all. Yeah, we'll see. I'm hoping I'll have a little bit more time. I'm still going to be working full time at night and doing the channel and taking care of the dogs and all that good stuff. So, but I won't have anybody over my head. That's honestly been driving me crazy. I have a great place I can go for a campfire. I didn't watch episode 8 yet, Swifty Rep TV. Not yet. I'll probably watch it at some time today. Maybe have a video out on it by in the morning for you. I hope to have a couple videos. I'm working tonight. So I hope to have a few videos. I'm probably going to go to sleep Probably going to go to sleep, I would say about 3 or so, wake up at 9, get ready to go to work, take care of the dogs, all that good stuff. I wonder why. It was boring again. Of course it was, but that's when I inject a little bit of Toddie One Skip in there. Not so boring, right? Not so boring. Not so boring. It does take time, but this is going to be my home for 3 years. It's not going to be like this apartment, which I knew the minute I moved into. We're not staying. We are not staying any longer than the lease. And so there's a room I didn't even go into basically, which made me say, shit, I haven't been in that room in a year. So, what do I need out of that room? So there's a couple guitars, and then I've already given some guitars away. I have 2 keyboards. My nephew just bought a keyboard. I didn't even know he was looking. I would have been more than happy to send him, the keyboard that I have. But, I have a drum set. I got to figure out what to do with that. That's not going with me. So, I just want to, so that's why it's like, I hope to have the trailer down by, like the second week of May on the property. They have until the 15th to put it on, but I could get it earlier. And then, I'm hoping I could move stuff little by little, like spend a month going over there every day and moving stuff little by little in there and setting it up and, inviting the dogs so that they, it's not brand new by the time we get there. So the Foyas, hit me up and I'll send you the Foyas Venus Sunday. Yep. Set me up. Send me an email at toddie1skip@gmail.com. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's what I'm hoping for, Aunt Edna. That's why it's like a process. We are dealing with underground electrical lines from our house to our well. Up now, I can't do anything. Yeah. That's why, there's a lot of things that still need to be done before the winter months come along and stuff. I also want to put some sort of cover where, the slide, because I want to leave the slide open, but I want to put some sort of cover like where ice would maybe, stay and then, it's ultimately would leak. So I just want to do the best I can and then decide what it is that I want to do 3 years from now. I want to leave. I think I want to leave. Do I want to maybe give one of my brothers, the trailer? Do I want to sell it? I don't know. We'll see. Right now, I'm just looking forward to just getting my little life with my pets together. That's it. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere right now in it. I'm just going to keep it steady. I don't want to buy anything. I could have bought something and then I'm stuck until somebody wants to buy it. I don't want to live like that. No, I don't want to live like that anymore. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get that creative, but anyway, this cat, are you talking about this, guys? Are you talking about him? I don't know who you guys, that's a cat. Bean, is that who you're talking about? Trust me, you want me to leave. I'm not happy in this apartment. Is this what you were talking about with the cat? That's a cat. It's a Bengal cat. That was my cat, Dylan. Exciting new chapter. Yeah, that's Dylan, my cat. That's Dylan. He's no longer with me. He passed away when he was about 16. He was great. Yep, he was a great cat. Yep, his name was Dylan. Yep, he was a good boy. He was a big guy. He was a Bengal. Yep. Yep. Are you guys seeing for you download link in chat? Nope, we're not. That link doesn't work anymore on my Facebook page. The one that you put up, Trixie. That's all I need. That's right. Yeah, he kind of looked like a lion. He was a cool cat. His name was Dylan. Yeah. Bracelets. What about bracelets? Please, please, please. Yeah. So Trixie's going to go ahead and put up that link. She put up that link before on the Facebook page, so that would be great. He was big, but he wasn't the size of a lion. He was a bigger cat than my cats, though. He was a Bengal cat. They're great. They act a lot like dogs. He was great. I had just two regular cats, a brother and a sister named Ziggy. We called them Ziggy and China, named after Bob Dylan. Jen and I. That was when Jen and my family had 3 dogs and 3 cats. That's what we had. And now they're all with her. He does look like a mountain lion, but he was so sweet. He used to come up to me and push my face back and rub and kiss right there. Ah, that's what he did. I had a black cat that used to go like this. I hate this. He's the only thing that ever got away with that, tapping me. And then China used to come and wipe her side of her head on my glasses and get oil. But they all got along. That was guys, I'm getting ready to skedaddle. I'm going to take my dogs out. I'm going to buy myself a trailer. I'm going to go to the bank and check on my mom. And the bobtail. Cool. I've had a very interesting life. Some of it not so great. Never was I ever ABUSED'd physically or actually. Never. But, you know, again, we can learn what we could do or what we cannot do from people. So, you know, sometimes we've got to work on the emotional abuse that people work on and do better, right? So, all right, guys, listen, seriously, I want to talk about these other cases. I want to continue to talk about gypsies and what's going on with Gypsahoy or Gypsahore. And, you know, yeah, he used to jump all the way up in our kitchen over our counters. And it was when he wanted to come down that he came down, because Jen and I never went up and got him. But he was good. He'd come down. He was a good boy. We had a good family. We had a good family. All right, guys. So I thank you so much for allowing me to be part of your day. I had a good time, Mundo. I had a very good time. I thank you guys so much. I do. And seriously, we should think about what's going on with cases that, you know, we do have a voice here, but it's important how we use that voice. And if we don't have facts, we have to say that we're speculating on something, or our theory is this, or otherwise we're just as bad as mainstream media. And right now, mainstream media sucks. People are looking to us for the alternative. You know, people are looking to other, you know, media to say, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. Can I, you know what I'm saying? Like, how does that? And then they look in and they see, well, wow, that Becca Scoop, she made a lot of sense. Or that Toddie One Skip, she's full of shit. Or, you know what I'm saying? Guys, be better today than you were yesterday, not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. And I hope to have a video out for you in the morning. Thank you for having your coffee with me, or whatever else you were having with me. I was good. I was good. I don't want you guys to think I did anything, that I messed up my beverages and stuff. Just an accident. All right, guys, take care of yourselves. I so appreciate you. I'll look into what you sent me Uncorked with Brandy, as well as the other stuff. I promise. I know I keep saying that. I'm saying it publicly. I promise. All right, guys. I was just going to say, be real. And Lynn Squirrel said, Ben real. Okay. All right, guys, be good. Thank you.